It's considered a battle between two of the title contenders, but Andrew Johns believes the Bulldogs can't win the premiership this season. They face the Storm tomorrow night, desperate for a response to their loss to the Roosters, and coach Cameron Ciraldo is confident they'll give one.
It's the ultimate test in the Bulldogs' hunt for a title.
There's two teams that have clearly been the most consistent all year in the Raiders and the Storm, and that's why they're in the top two positions on the ladder. We're sitting third, so we've been consistent for long periods, but inconsistent in other times, and that's what we're searching for.
That inconsistency is why some are now doubting the Dogs.
Are they premiership material? Which I don't think so. Grand final, for instance, you have to go up a gear. The question's, have they got another gear in? And that's the question. I think there's a premiership in the next 2, 3, 4 years for the Dogs, just not this year.
Cameron Ciraldo says he's seen signs they do after putting his players on notice following their loss to the Roosters.
Yeah, I will say training's gone up a notch. The intensity definitely was a bit higher on Monday, and the boys have continued that throughout the week. So, yeah, I think it's been a good reaction to what was probably said last week. We have prepared at such a high level for long parts of the season, and there was just a couple of signs that was dipping, and it's hopefully we've addressed it now and moved on.
The Storm is bracing for a strong response.
We know that they're going to come down here and add a bit of physicalness to their game. I think was one of the quotes, but at the end of the day, we know what we're good at.
Ryan Papenhuyzen trained today, but it's still unclear whether he'll return from concussion. Craig Bellamy bristling at questions on the fallout that's followed Harry Grant's dive against the Panthers.
If they really want to comment on that, it might cost me something.
Sam Jordan, 9 News.
Well, it'll be wet and wild here at Accor Stadium tonight as the Rabbitohs take on the Dragons. Andrew Johns joins us now. Evening to you, Joey.
Hey, Bryce.
On to this match tonight. Keon Kalamatangi, a big in for the South Sydney side.
Yeah, he'll play big minutes too. He's back in the middle. They've been missing some forwards, South Sydney, so he'll be back in there, give some starch in the middle. As I said, plays huge minutes, which will strengthen their bench, so he'll be in for a big game, Keon.
Taking on this St George Illawarra side that's showing some real green shoots of late.
Yeah, they've lost so many games this year by close points. I think it's been 3 games have been beat by 1 point. Some young players coming through, and they like playing in the wet, so I think they're a real big chance tonight.
Close one?
Close one. I think St George Illawarra can get up.
Keen to make any more headlines?
Sorry, Bulldogs fans.
So you sideline, Andrew. Well, Ricky Stewart has dismissed suggestions his Raiders need to beat the Panthers to prove their premiership credentials in tomorrow night's battle of the big guns in the bush. The test for Ricky's Raiders is set to get a whole lot harder as the Premiers prepare to welcome back their inspirational skipper.
In agony when his shoulder popped 3 weeks ago, Isaiah Yeo appears ready to return against the Raiders in Mudgee.
It just adds to the ability of their footy team. He's a very good football player, he's an international, and they're a very good team. They're chasing their 5th consecutive premiership.
Ricky Stewart has had plenty to celebrate this season, but don't tell the Raiders coach his side needs to prove a point against the reigning premiers.
We don't need to lay down a marker, mate. We're leading the comp.
But only 3 Raiders remain from Canberra's 2019 grand final team. 6 others have never played finals footy.
It'll be interesting to see how some of our inexperienced younger players handle the big occasion. And it'll be all about getting that experience, and that's the only one way you can get the experience is by playing in these types of games.
A win against Penrith would help the Raiders close in on the club's first minor premiership since 1990.
That's a 3rd last comp game. There's still a story to be told going into the next 3 weeks for so many footy teams.
A long shot to feature in the finals, the Sea Eagles have defended their coach Anthony Seibold, who has been under heavy criticism.
Probably at times it's unfair and maybe not called for. Like a huge amount of that rests back on us, the playing group. Him and, our coaching staff give us every opportunity to go out and play well.
Zach Bailey, 9 News.
It could be the masterstroke that sparks the Broncos' surge through the NRL Final Series, revamping their travel schedule and arriving early in Newcastle before Sunday's showdown with the Knights. The change-up proving to be a popular decision in the Hunter, with a massive crowd attending the Broncos training session late this afternoon. Brisbane set to make it the norm now, travelling early to aid player preparation after suffering several injuries on away trips this season. Ahead of tomorrow night's heavyweight showdown between the Storm and the Bulldogs, Craig Bellamy has ruled out making a play for Maroons forward Tino Faisal-Awi following reports linking the Titans captain to a move back to Melbourne.
I can honestly say that's the first time I heard that this morning. So, unless the recruitment guys are keeping it from me or Tino's keeping, we certainly like to have him back, but yeah, I'm not quite sure he'd fit back into our cap at the moment.
Bellamy also confirming injured halfback Jerome Hughes is on track to return from a shoulder injury in a fortnight's time against the Broncos. There is breaking news tonight on the future of a big-name Queensland NRL player. Ben Dobbin joins us live from the newsroom. Dobbo, David Fifita could be on the move.
Jono, this is a developing story that David Fifita will be leaving the Gold Coast Titans at the end of the season. Now, nothing has been signed and there hasn't been any negotiations yet, but South Sydney have contacted the Gold Coast Titans and expressed an interest that they'd like to negotiate with him to take him to the Rabbits next year. I spoke to Wayne Bennett this afternoon. He confirmed that they have an interest, but till they get the green light from the Titans that they're allowed to negotiate, they won't be making a phone call. I asked Wayne whether or not he sees him as a starter or a bench player. He said absolutely in the starting side. He'd love to have him at the Rabbitohs next year. He believes his best football is still ahead of him. This looks like it will take place. The Titans are very confident that they can get a deal struck with the Rabbitohs likewise, that you might see David Fifita next year in the red and green.
Big breaking news, Dobbo. Thank you.